Greetings, everybody. I'm doing comparisons today. JS Frameworks versus vanilla JavaScript. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of the things I've done some research on, what people agree with. As you can see here, I've looked at a couple places on YouTube, and these are some of the 7 things that are standard questions of one versus the other. Load speed, upgrading environment, SEO, installation, readability, and standards. The last 2, as you can see, the JS framework seem to be winning all hands down. Now, as far as the load speed, that you have to change depending on what you're up to, obviously, but I can do a couple of tests with some sites that are identical, other than the fact that one is written in React and others is written in JavaScript, and we'll just see what happens. Now, clearly, it is cheaper to run a static site. If you just want to do it for free somewhere, like you don't have to pay any extra to do a Linux or have Node installed or whatever. So this is going to be a big deal. You can get around the SEO problems with the frameworks if you're pre-rendering before you deploy the page, things like that. There is no installation, obviously. When it comes to, you don't have to compile vanilla JavaScript. So if you need to use anything, it's going to be from a CDN. So like as for examples, I've got this site here. This is vanilla JavaScript written, and it has a couple of gets. It's got a couple of posts, and the posts are actually using Axios, and the gets are just a fetch. But as you can see, let's say, for instance, I want to swing over to my information page, which has a couple APIs. It's got the weather, and it's got some news, blogs, things like that. It all loaded up pretty quick and finished in a little over 4 seconds. Same page over here and written in React. And it looks like finished a little bit faster. That's the one that when it jumps up, that's Google Analytics, so don't count that. But 2.6 and 2.0 here. So as you can see, they're pretty close, and the SEO on this one is going to be awesome because it's all written right here. And unfortunately, when you go here, there's nothing. You'd have to pre-render it. There's just some code, and then of course the description for the meta tags. So that's a problem if you're looking for SEO. Now, like I said, this is just a front end, like kind of information, kind of business information, and a form so that people can make reservations. So ultimately, each page is different and unique. So you're going to put some effort in, roughly about the same amount of JavaScript, I would say, especially when it comes to when I'm doing these here, these carousels, that would probably be the most of it, which is just, I got a carousel moving and tell it which direction and which media. And that's what I've also told it when they load to do all this, kind of compile a string and then put it into the element target. So once you get that done, this will just do the functioning of the carousel. Not a lot of work. I would say it's about the same amount of work when I do it in React. So let's swing over to this page. This is written in React. It's my portfolio from, I think, 2021 or something. Anyway, it was written Create React app, which is no longer supported, which means I would have to basically rebuild this thing if I wanted to do some major construction on it or add on quite a bit. As you can see here, I'm not running Linux, so the blog's not going to be working right now. So I won't treat that one. I won't give it a hard time there. But yeah, so otherwise, let's go, and as you can see, when I load up my application page, it took about 10 seconds. And let's go to the resume page. That's about 15 seconds. Sorry, sure this is right. So this resume page loaded in 1.3 seconds. Now let's do the static one. Resume page. Oh, what's that? There we go. So resume page. This is the difference. When I go to the resume page, it doesn't do anything. because it's a single page app. So as you can see, the whole thing is loaded the first time. So that's why it takes so long to load initially. When they land on this page, it landed and loaded all of it. And so as you come around to, let's say, the blog, or you're going around to, like, you see how nothing's moving? It's because it already loaded everything. So if, let's say, you could turn this on and then go onto a plane and hit airplane mode. As long as you loaded this first, it would just, it would just keep running. So I guess I could say that if you're going to be doing something that's small and that it's for the client side, I would definitely use or consider using vanilla JavaScript, because it's a lot less work. You don't have to compile anything, and you can update it years later and not have to worry about compatibility. That's probably the big thing for me. Now, granted, it is a little troublesome if you're not documenting correctly to explain to all your new employees exactly what you've done here. And that's not going to be the case if they have a framework, because they are all on board with that before they got there. So it is kind of what it is. If you're going to write something that's wildly complex and it needs a login and you're going to be passing around security tokens, you can do that, obviously. That's what JavaScript is, no problem. It's just going to take way more typing. It can be done. But you will be redundantly typing a lot of catches and errors and whatnot to see what if this happens. It's a lot more work. But let's say you're a large company and you're afraid you're going to get stuck in the past. And a lot of large companies, they create something they think is top technology, and it probably was at one point. But then when time came a few years later and they want to make some upgrades, they couldn't, because the plugins won't. All the dependencies aren't going to cooperate with the new stuff. And so they have to take this chance of, well, we spend the millions of dollars to build an entire new setup, or are we going to, kind of try to make this thing match, or are we just going to get stuck in like an old Explorer browser that we can't move forward because of our old software? It is the question of the day when it comes to my topic. So if you could just throw some ideas of what you think. Most people probably think that frameworks, just because those are popular. But I think this tried and true concept of vanilla JavaScript, that's more my thing. Unfortunately, that's not the way the world works, so I can't always do it that way. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks for listening.